Hello, it's Devin here, and this is my first thoughts of Lion Rampant after a good game we had on the weekend. So we set up a quick table. It's like 4x3. We had a little village at one end and some hills at the other. We played the first scenario in the book called Bloodbath. There are other systems in there about earning points that you can do, oaths at the beginning of the game and things like that, but we didn't get into that. We just played a real stripped back side or sort of game. We went for a 14-point game. So each unit can be worth so many points, and there's different units in the book, and we sort of broke that all out. I had some foot sergeants, mounted sergeants, and mounted men-at-arms, so I'm using my Crusader army, and my son's using my Bretonnian army, which he had some archers, foot sergeants, and mounted men-at-arms. So the mounted men-at-arms are like knights. My son was the attacker, so he went first and pushed forward, and really the first sort of rounds were us just moving forward within range with one another. There's like a sort of a state chart of how you should play the game that's in there. It's quite easy to follow, and really first thing at the beginning of your turn is if your leaders are within 12 inches of one another, you can issue a challenge. You can only do this once per side, and it's interesting. You roll some dice, 3 dice each, and you hit on 5s and 6s and compare the results. But if it's a draw, like we did both times, you end up going back to your unit, but the rest of the unit can't fight. So your leaders and your unit charge out, fight one another, but the rest of the unit that were involved actually can't do anything. Each unit has different stats with its attack and defense. So your attack is used when you attack, and so that could be like a 5+, and your defense is the same, sort of, it's your attack when you're defending, and that could be 5 or a 4+, or whatever, depending on your unit. But it took us a little while to work this out in terms of, because some units just weren't as obvious. Like your mounted men-at-arms were clearly much better in attack. They have like a 3+ in attack and a 5+ in defense. But it just didn't jump out as with our foot sergeants, where they have a 5+ in attack but a 4+ in defense. So you actually don't want to attack with them if you can. You really want them to really hold some territory, and in this scenario you were just fighting, but I can see in a lot of the other scenarios holding your territory would be really useful. We had a lot of fun. The base mechanic of fighting is that if your unit is above half strength, you roll 12 dice, and if your unit is below half strength, you roll 6 dice. So it's really simple in that respect. You just, if my unit started with 6 guys and I've got more than 3, so I've got 4 or more, I'm rolling 12. If I've got 3 or less, I'm rolling 6. And if you're in one of your other units that has 12 guys, well, it's pretty simple, 12 or 6. It was quite fun. Combats weren't too bloody, only a few died each side, but it was quite decisive in general about what was happening. I really need to play some more games of it to really understand how it all works, but it was fun and it was fast. So that's my first take on it. So hope you have fun, and I'll talk to you next time.